easiest way would be to suggest that everybody in this room who's not a kidney donor is in fact killing somebody who needs a kidney. Now, do you think you're all a bunch of murderers in this room here? I don't. But that's the reasoning that they have to use in order to say that when you don't buy health insurance, you don't want health insurance, you didn't solicit health insurance, you didn't accept health insurance that the feds want, you didn't even think about health insurance, that you're causing something to happen. When I went to school, nothing could not cause something. Okay? I don't know how much this reality has changed in Washington, but I still think nothing is not the cause of anything. But they're doing this, and they hope that you sleep through this. You have got to be awake here. Enforcing health care will raise privacy concerns and Fourth Amendment concerns, because they're going to have to find out, in fact, do you have health insurance? And they want the states to rat out on the federal government, or to the federal government, to the IRS. So, in fact, why is House Bill 10 needed? It did pass the House, didn't pass the Senate yet. Different versions passed the House and Senate, but not with some provisions that I have here. You need this because I think it was a Senate bill, if you don't buy the insurance, you're subject to a $750 penalty. If you don't pay the penalty, you're subject to a you're subject to a $25,000 fine because the IRS is going after you and 1 year in jail. Now, how much are your principals worth? Can you even afford the attorney? The reason for House Bill 10 is to let the state of Virginia step in. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not going to pay for one abortion under insurance, period. I'm not going to. And when I say that, and I say don't take any money out because I'm not going to pay this fine, and the IRS says to the finance department, does that Bob Marshall get the money back again from the state of Virginia? We want you to give us this $750. And what's going to happen? Attorney General Cuccinelli is going to tell the Director of Finance, don't you touch a dime of that tax return. We're stepping in. We have a law in Virginia which allows me to stand in the place of Bob Marshall or any other citizen who doesn't want to submit to this tyranny. That's the reason, that's the practical reason for House Bill 10. Okay? And the Obama administration people have said there's going to be a high degree of intrusiveness that you're not going to like in order to ferret out who has insurance and who doesn't. Let me just quote to you one more person here. Large tribe. Not a fever swamp occupant that I know of with right-wing leanings. A tax, this is from American Constitutional Law in 1988. A tax is a regulatory tax, and hence invalid if not otherwise authorized, if its very application presupposes taxpayer violations of a series of specified conditions promulgated along with the tax. These penalties, taxes that are imposed for you not wanting to participate in these programs that they decide for you, and they want us to participate in this as well as they. But even he can see there are problems with this. Now, folks, who are you? You are Virginians. That makes you special. Why does it make you special? Okay, in the destiny and history of this country. The writer of the Declaration of Independence of Virginia, the head of the armies, the Continental Armies, who led us to victory over Britain, or Virginia. The state that asked for the call for the Annapolis Convention, which led to the Federal Convention in Philadelphia, Virginia. The president of the Constitutional Convention, George Washington, of Virginia. The father of the Constitution of Virginia. The father of the Bill of Rights, George Washington. You're Virginians. You have a destiny. You have an obligation. You have the right. You have the duty. You have the power. You have the opportunity to act. So I'm asking you to do that. Thank you very much.
What are the chances of this passing the Senate? And if we can help, who should we put pressure on?
It is before the Senate Labor and Commerce Committee. And what you need to do is send emails out to your friends around Virginia. Or send me a link and I'll send you the names of who to send this to. But you have to multiply your efforts and send this to your friends around Virginia. If you have someone on the Labor and Commerce Committee, that's critically important. I believe Joe Guarino said that we may take the vote next Monday. So we have 9 days in which to contact our state senators.
That's democratically controlled, is it not?
Yes, but now Senator Colgan, who's a Democrat, got on this, co-patroned my bill because he doesn't want, same as me, doesn't want to pay for abortions. He knows that's going on in D.C. Senator Puckett, a Democrat, conservative from way down south side Virginia near Kentucky, also voted for this. So we have some help right there. That makes it 8-6 in that committee. I'm still trying to pull some other people across. My bill has a provision which says that this does not apply if there is like a divorce or separation or a child custody proceeding where a court orders health insurance to be paid for. It's not a law, but some people try to find a way out of it. And some senators in the General Assembly opposed the other version of this, which doesn't have all the provisions that I have, because it didn't allow for this. Now, mine takes that into account. And frankly, I think that this lost in Arizona a couple of years ago because questions came up. Well, what about these circumstances where there's a child and, there's a separation? You need to provide for this. Well, the courts were maybe a little bit hesitant to do this. So this allows for that to take place. That's the only difference that I have here. Other questions? Yes, Joe.
Just to follow on to this, most of us in here are represented by Senator John Watkins. He is on the Senate Commerce and Labor Committee. It would behoove you to contact him to ask him to support this bill.
Absolutely. Yes.
I just moved fairly recently, November, from the evil state of New Jersey, which I'm sure you know what's going on. I came down here, I loved the state for several years, and I know the evil that they forced down on us in New Jersey. If, for God forbid, I should say, this thing, we try to pass it, what can we do to turn it back?
You can vote for it. You can get House Bill 10 to be passed. This is meant as a challenge to the Obamacare mandates. I mean, I have said this any number of places. I'm not hidden it. I'm not being coy about it. I'm not shy about it. We need to challenge this. We're drawing a line. Don't cross the line, okay? Just like the Roman senator when he was met with the people from Carthage. He told the general, you have certain things to do. The general was thinking. He drew a line around it. He said, what's the line for? He said, you make your decision before you step outside of this circle. Okay? That's what we're telling Obama. Don't tread on me.
Thank you, sir.
Now, about a third of the House Democratic caucus voted for my bill, including 2 members of the Black caucus. So there's some people thinking about this. Again, thank you. Look, you are here. Again, you're here for a reason. You're not in the mall today. Remember when, Martha and Mary was coming back? She complained to the Lord. My sister, I'm concerned about the housework. He says, your sister's chosen the better part. You've chosen the better part because you're defending your lives, your liberty, and your property, and other people who are, it's not bad to go to the mall, but they won't have the opportunity to do that, okay, if this mandate system of government becomes law. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Marshall. Just to reiterate what he said, summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will shrink in this crisis. And because you're here, you are not a summer soldier or a sunshine patriot. Before I introduce my next speaker, I just want to take this opportunity to recognize two of our elected officials from Powhatan County. Stand up when I say their name. Commonwealth's Attorney Bob Beasley. Representing the 2nd District on the Powhatan County School Board, Jason Moore. Back, representing the 4th District on the Powhatan School Board, Debbie Jones. And I also want to thank my friend and my political mentor, Mr. Patrick McSweeney. He is an invaluable source of guidance for me, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff without him, so thank you, Pat.